Hey guys.
Actually, I'm thinking we need to change what we call you. I feel like we should just call them like Deku fam. Someone hashtagged it and I was like, oh, I like that. Deku fam, because you are our extended family, but we're gonna make it cool and call it Deku fam. Okay. Let us know what you think, because I'm on it, Gabes is not on it.
I don't know.
I think
but we'll go with it for the time being.
Hey guys, it's just long now. It's just so cheesy. Like, hey guys.
Okay, so should we start again?
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hey Deku fam.
Hey Deku fam.
Oh, that worked. Welcome back to our channel.
Welcome back.
So, today we went to the library like good little students, and then on our way back we saw 2 of our subscribers, which is amazing. Eunice and
Devon.
Yeah, and they were so young, and I was just like, wow, we've got like young ones watching us.
Exactly.
Which means we're cool.
And so we know the time of the season is everyone is literally trying to do their exam, and the next question is, what are you going to do when you finish school? What are you going to do when you finish university? And someone in the comments already asked us, what do we do in our careers? So we thought, this is the perfect opportunity, as everyone is thinking about the next steps. We should talk about our careers. So we're going to take a break, a 2-week break, away from relationships. And
it's every day. It's everyday relationship.
Yeah, we know other stuff as well, you know?
Kinda.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, we're just sticking our sweet spot. But anyway, we're going to talk about our careers in terms of what we do, how we got there, what we studied at college and all that kind of stuff. Just to kind of give you an overview of how we got to where we are now.
Because I think there's a lot of pressure on the young ones these days, and like we might be able to relieve that pressure and like let you know that everything's gonna be okay. Like things might not work out exactly how you plan them to, but you can still do well
and
or
succeed in life.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got questions, and they're just gonna come up on the screen, and we're just gonna talk around that specific subject.
So when I was younger, I saw my dad and my uncle always wearing suits. My dad worked in sales in the city and he was a businessman. My uncle worked in engineering and worked in a business. But I just said, I want to be a businessman, okay? I want to be a businessman. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't have any kind of context. I just wanted to wear a suit to work so I can feel like a boss, you see? When you wear a shirt and tie, you feel like a boss. You feel like you have power. So I wanted to have power, and I just wanted to work in business.
That's why you always wear shirts. You
I love a bit of shirt and tie.
Thank God for his casual attire.
I know he's trying to make me a bit more casual. I love a shirt and tie. Monday to Friday, I love it.
So for me, I think when I was young, probably from 0 to 12, I wanted to be an athlete because
she's got long legs.
I got long legs and I love running. I used to love running. So I was like, yeah, I want to be an athlete. And then I got to my teenage years and I was like, actually, I like to talk, you know? I like to talk more than I like to do running. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to be a lawyer. So I did my work experience in a law firm for like 2 weeks doing paperwork. And then I was like, actually, I don't like law. I want to do politics. So And then I wanted to be a politician because I like to argue.
She had the gift of the gab, you see. She just talks and keeps talking.
You talk more than me now.
No, you talk a lot.
No, you talk more than me.
You talk a lot. I'm just trying to sleep at
Oh, okay.
You're just there talking.
What about this morning when you're just chatting?
Yeah, but that's morning. I'm talking about evenings.
Yeah, but talking is talking.
Anyway. When I hit college, I had a bit more context to, being a businessman. So everyone was talking about investment banking, and obviously they got paid the most. So I was like, I want to be an investment banker. So what did I do? I went and studied maths, because obviously you needed to be able to count that money, so you need maths. I went into business because obviously I wanted to be a businessman in investment banking, and I did IT because obviously I'm going to be typing all my figures and how much salary I'm going to be earning. So I studied maths, business and IT at college, but then I failed all of them. I failed every single one of them. I was someone who was a hard worker, but I was just probably a bit of a slow starter. I just failed everything. So now I was in a position, I wanted to go to university. Mum was there crying like, oh my son, my son. My first son, what am I going to do? So I said, all right, Mum, I'm going to retake everything. So I retook all my A-levels in 1 year. So that was just enough for me to go to university.
And you met me, so I mean everything works out for the good, you know? That's your word. Take it.
Listen. You wasn't in that point. I didn't know you at this point. Okay?
Yeah, I know, but you ended up at the same university as me, and now you're the happiest man in the world.
Congratulations to you.
Congratulations to you, my friend.
Okay, so I now get it just enough what we call UCAS points. So this is like the points you need to go to university. So I got just enough to go. I went to Portsmouth University. I studied economics, finance and banking. And the reason I studied economics was because they said business is a little bit, it's very like specific to just what happens internally within an organization. But economics encompasses business and actually tells you more about like the macro economy, like what happens outside, like interest rates, inflation, all that kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, let me pick something a bit wider. So I picked economics, finance and banking.
So I was here like, oh yeah, I want to be, you know, a politician / lawyer / something that means I get to talk. I didn't care about money, if I'm being honest. That didn't even cross my mind. Politicians don't even make money. Anyway, so I studied at college economics, politics and accounting. And back then, like, retakes were my life. Oh my gosh. And you could actually retake. I've heard now that the younger ones, they can't retake anymore.
I retook everything. And retook those ones as well.
Oh my gosh. I'd have like 4 exams in one subject. Like,
back to back.
Yeah, back to back. Try to remember what we learned in quarter 1, quarter 2. Anyway, so yeah, that was what I studied at college. I did okay. I didn't get into my first choice university, but I got into my second choice university where we met, and I chose to study politics and sociology.
So when you're at uni, they always talk about you have to make sure that you have all these different internships and all that kind of stuff. Make sure you go on an industrial placement. I applied, okay? I applied hard. Like I sent out so many applications, probably about 40 different applications for graduate jobs and internships, anything, toilet cleaner, I'll do anything, okay?
No, you weren't. No, you weren't applying for like the best of the best.
Obviously.
Like you
no,
wouldn't even apply for like a medium-sized bank. You'd be like, no,
yeah.
I want to work for, you know, Goldman.
I applied everywhere and I got zero. Imagine, I came out of university with no work experience. Bearing in mind, I didn't even work in retail because obviously in an African household, they said, no, you shall not work. Just focus on your books, okay? Focus on your books. So I was like, okay, focus on my books. Did not work at all. So I came out of university with no experience, with a 2-1 because obviously I missed my first by 0.2% because I met someone in my 3rd year and then I flopped. I was on first class, you know. I don't know.
Oh,
I was on first class and then I met somebody and then, but anyway, when she gets on that story, she'll tell you how I boosted her up from a 2-2. But anyway, get out of here. Yeah, shush. No, I'm talking. Okay, so yeah, where was I? Oh yeah. Didn't get any graduate jobs, came out of university with
jobless.
Then I called a couple of recruiters, finally got through to one recruiter. He called me for a job. I was like, oh my God, you know, did all the prep I could, just read up on everything, went for the interview, was 40 minutes through the interview. The guy was like, yeah, like you sound like you know what you're talking about. And then he was talking and saying, and he was like, oh, that's great, Jonathan. And I was like, who's Jonathan?
Oh my
Jonathan?
God, I remember that.
And I was like, no, listen, my name is Gabriel. I don't know who Jonathan is. And then he said, so you're not Jonathan and you haven't had 4 years of experience. I was like, and you didn't go Cambridge? I was like, no, I'm Gabriel and I went to Portsmouth University. It's actually deep, you know. Okay, so so this opportunity went from being available to him kicking me out of his office because I wasn't the right person. That kind of hit me at my core. I was like, I am going to be unemployed forever. Where's the job center? You know, I was like, what is going on? Okay, so lo and behold, so I get a random phone call from the same recruiter saying, hey, there's a job open up. It's in asset management, but it's not in it's not an investment, so managing an investment. It's in a field called compliance. I was like, do they pay? I was like, okay, cool. Went there, literally went for the interview. It went really well, but what I did was, when I left the interview, I went home and I typed an email quickly about how great the opportunity was and why I feel like I'll be the good candidate, just basically reiterating everything I said in the interview. And what I did was I scheduled the email the next morning for 6:30, because obviously I'll be sleeping at 6:30. But I wanted to make them aware that I am a hard worker and I wake up early. So the email went, pew, 6:30, and then I got a call literally had an interview on Tuesday, got a call on Friday, that I got the job.
In terms of me and my story, so I went to uni now and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a politician slash lawyer slash chatter, like changing the world. I went to uni, studied politics, and I was just like, I don't like this subject. I was like, I don't like it. Like, it's so boring. Like, I want to be out in the streets. I was like, this is not really the structure, the processes. Maybe I just don't like, I don't know what it was.
Yeah, you just didn't like.
I just didn't really like it.
There's too many facts and legal terms and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and that's just not me. So while I was at university, I was just like, oh, just gonna have to find a way to get through this. So I was doing my work, and you know, God sent an angel by the name of Gabriel to like really support me and encourage me, because in the final year the struggle was real. Like, I really just was not interested in my subject anymore, and Gabes just helped me with my dissertation. You know, we weren't even together at that point. He was just being that friend that was just really helpful. So I finished university, qualified with a 2-1. We both got the same grade.
Yeah, but me I got pulled down and I gave a little prop up, you know?
Thank you, babe. That's what sacrifice is about.
No. Yeah, I could have been somewhere, you know?
But the thing with me is, I've been working since I was 16 years old. As soon as I got my national insurance number, which is what you need to get a job, mate, my first job, I had 2 jobs at the same time, Christmas temp at Tesco and Argos, and I was working there back to back all through the Christmas holidays. And then I've worked in a factory, I've worked in Sainsbury's, I've done like a lot in terms of work. And even at university, I was working all the way through at Ted Baker, at Ralph. So I was doing a lot of retail jobs, I was working all the time. And that's what I loved, like just being able to talk to people. And I was just thinking, like, how's this gonna pay the bills? Like, how's chatting gonna pay the bills? But long and behold, I finished uni, 2-1, realising I don't want to go into politics. During my final year of university, Gabes was like interviewing hard. He was like, yeah, got an interview at IBM. Oh yeah, got an interview with, you know, Barclays. Oh yeah, this is happening. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I've never met anyone like this. Like, all my friends, we were just chilled. We're like, oh yeah, we'll see, you know, what happens. But Gabes was just like on job. So I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get started. So then there was this recruitment fair and Gabes was like, you're going. And I was like, okay, I'm going. I went to the recruitment fair, met this company, and they invited me to their like assessment day. So then I went, and then I met the director, and he was just like, yeah, come for a one-to-one interview. And then went for a one-to-one interview, and he was like, yeah, you got the job. So I was like, oh.
See, this is the thing. when you get to know Anna, you know that friend that just has opportunity and she just gets it. So bear in mind, I went to probably about 30 like interviews, got 0, okay? I've made application, got 0. But Anna just had a conversation with a man and then yet got invited to an interview and then got the job. This was the only job this girl applied to at university. And I was like, oh. Well done, babe. Well
So
done.
you weren't happy with me deep down?
I was happy, but you know, I'm human. Well done. Well done.
But it was thanks to you. Like, you know, you were there.
Struggle out here, you know.
So my first job was in sales, which is selling, but it was recruitment sales. So I was selling people to companies to get the jobs. Yeah. But I didn't really know much about it. I just knew that it was going to mean that I was talking to people all the time on the phone. So it was really in tune with what I wanted to do anyway. Mom didn't understand it. Family didn't understand it, but I just knew this is going to start something great. So I actually started my job exactly 1 month before.
1 month. So when did you start? 14th of July?
No. Was it July? Oh yeah, 14th of July.
And I started the 14th of August.
Yeah. So
exactly to the month. Yeah. So Anna had a job 1 month before I did. And imagine the pain. I'm the man in this relationship, okay? And Anna's paying for all the
deadlines.
I was like, oh.
So what do we do now? Everyone's asking like, oh, we see your wedding. Oh, we see, you know, Hawaii. Oh, we see this. Like literally, it doesn't actually make sense to us as well, because what we're doing is not even that deep. Like we're bottom of the food chain, I tell you. Like we have no direct reports. Like we're just here doing our tasks and just doing what we have to do. But basically now I'm in my 3rd job after graduating 4 years ago.
Anna's the kind of person, if she's not happy, she just jumps.
But because of Gabes and his stability, I've been in my current role for 2 years. Like, it's just a big deal, sorry. But
how long were you in the first one for? A year?
A year. The second one, 8 months. Then this one, 2 years. Which is great. And I've learned a lot. And this job, like, even the way that it came about was just mad, because I was in my last company and I was like, right, and now it's time to get into a global organization. It's time to be somewhere where they provide training, where it's like, you know, you go in one person and you come out a completely different person, because I didn't want to take ownership of my development. I thought that it's companies that, you know, take you on this like journey and you're just going to learn and you're going to become like this well-oiled machine. So I applied for this job, and it was actually a more junior position than what I was doing at the time, but I was like, oh, I need to get this job because it'll be with a global organization, and that was the one criteria that I had. So I now go to the interview, I'm like, yeah, this will be easy. I don't even know if I want to take the pay cut, but let's just go anyway. I went, met the manager, and he was just like asking me questions, talking about what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. Explained it to him, and he was like, well, actually, there was this lady who was meant to come back on maternity leave, and she decided to go back to a different business unit. So now I've got this more senior position, which I think is actually better for you. I think you're overqualified for this other one. So this is the role, and he explained it, and I was just like, wow. What it would mean is that I was going from being just person who called companies, a telesales person, to now going out, being in the field and actually just selling face to face to banks. So I was just like, you do know I've never done that before. And he was just like, yeah, but I really think that this is the right next step for you. And I was like, okay. He said, well, you're gonna have to come in to do an interview with me and my boss, and you're gonna have to present what your 90-day plan is. And I was just like, okay. I went back, told Gabes, long story short, went through the interview process, we were prepping hard, got the job, and it ended up being like such...
It was like, I remember the figures, obviously. So it was a 35% increase in salary. Bearing in mind, she went for the job in mind that she was going to have a 20% decrease in salary because the role was more junior. But yet, a new role opened up and she got the increase. And
I got the job. Like, it was just mad. Because on paper, they would not have even looked at my CV for that role. The recruiter, it says 5 years experience. I had 2 years experience. So basically, I got that job, and it's just been like God all over it. What I do now is I sell my company's products to other companies.
Right, so now I'm in my second job after university. My first job, I see that as a place full of mistakes. I made so many mistakes. I used to go to the bathroom like I was doing some serious number 2. But what I was actually doing was just in the bathroom, on the toilet, just hands in my head, like, oh, what is going on? Because to work in my role, you need a certain level of detail. You need to have a good attention to detail. And if you miss it, this could potentially have an impact on the bank's reputation and all that kind of stuff. I learned from my mistakes and I grow into it. So now I'm still in the same type of role, but in a different company. I work within an investment management firm, and we look after rich people's money. So just to give you a picture, to open an investment management account with my firm, you need a minimum of £250,000. Yes, £250,000. We have rich clients, and we invest that for them. But where I sit within my firm is that I work within the compliance function, and the compliance function is just make sure that the firm adheres to all the rules and regulations set by our regulator called the Financial Conduct Authority. So I basically will look through the different rules and help my bank or my investment management firm make sure that we adhere to the rules. So this involves like advising them, replying to emails, and picking up the phone and advising them through certain things, and just being as a soundboard before they make any silly decisions. So yeah, that's pretty much me. Compliance is not somewhere I thought I'd end up. First of all, I didn't know what compliance was when I was at university. Nobody talks about compliance. Everyone always talks about the sexy roles like investment banking and M&A transactions and all that kind of stuff and accountancy, but no one really talks about compliance. But within a bank, within an investment management firm, there are so many roles within the firm.
And you are so born for compliance, like right now. In terms of his personality, thorough, detailed, just process driven, you know, that is you. So I'm just like, when he got the job, the first job in compliance, I was just like, wow, this is actually for you. Like, go with an open mind, because he was like, I'm not gonna stay in compliance for long, I'm gonna move into a different role, blah, blah, blah. But then, like, as time went on, 3 years later, 4 years, he's still in compliance.
Still in compliance, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, you love it.
I actually like it. I love it.
So, but it's not where you ended up.
Yeah, but it's not where I thought I'd be, and even the way that the opportunity came about, it's just like, although you may not know what you want to do, or even when you think you know what to do, God always knows what's best for you, and He kind of just orchestrates that. So you just kind of just trusting in God and just allowing Him to align your steps, and you will be where you want to be.
Yeah, because for us, like, we did not think, we came out of uni like, oh, we love each other, but what we do in our lives, and we just literally just let go and allowed God to do whatever He needed to do, and He really did, because 3.5 years on, we're just like blown away by the things that He's done. Like sales for me, like, it wasn't something that anyone spoke about. It's not something you can even study at university. It's something that people think that you don't need any skills for, but like, it's just been amazing. Like the fact that there's no structure to sales. There's process, but you can.
There's no structure. It's about just getting the deal in.
Yeah, get the deal in, and every day is different. You're going to meet different people, clients, understand their requirements, provide solutions that work for them, and like, I love it. So we're both in jobs right now that we enjoy, and that's not to say that it's not difficult, because boy, how many times have I called you just crying in the toilet because this has happened, that has happened. The trials are real, but we're thankful for where we're at, and we can see that our character is definitely maturing, right?
Yeah, definitely. So that's it. That's our careers. That's what we do in a nutshell and how we got there. But we are mindful that some people might have a few questions that they want to ask. So feel free to put your questions below. In our next video will actually be a Q&A answering some of the questions that people have about careers in terms of what they should be doing now. So because there is such thing as being intentional, like the fact that he scheduled the email to send at 6:30 after he went to an interview. Like, seriously, I used to work for like seeing CVs all the time and deciding which ones to put forward for the role. So like, any advice from like CVs to interviews to, you know, crying at work and the struggle, should I leave my job? What type of tissue should you have if you're crying? All that kind of questions we want to try and help.
So we know it's a tough season for a lot of people, and you know, not having a job is not fun, but like, there's so much that you can learn in that season. So let us know your questions, and we'll answer them in our next video. We're here to be used to help you. See you later, guys. Bye. Deku, bye Deku, fam. See you later. Bye.